Hello and welcome to Shoot the Hostage with me, Dan, and my partner, Sarah. We're a movie podcast who talks about a different film each week based on a theme. We do swear and we do spoil the featured movie, so only ever listen if you've seen the film or you don't care too much about spoilers. If you're a regular listener, you can just skip forward until you hear the intro music because you've heard all of this before. But if you are new to the show and you do enjoy what you hear, there are a couple of things you can do to help support the show. Firstly, make sure that you're subscribed on your podcast player so you get notified when new shows drop on Mondays. You could rate us 5 stars on Spotify, which couldn't be easier. You just hit the star icon below the show's artwork. Or if you have a spare few minutes, we'd love it if you could submit a review wherever you listen. Make sure you come follow us at STH_pod on social media. We are active on Instagram, Threads and TikTok. And lastly, the biggest thing you can do to help is tell a friend about the show. So that's about it. That's enough preamble from me. Over to me and Sarah for this week's episode. Hello and welcome. Welcome once again to this podcast where we talk about movies.
I can't tell if this is the actual intro or if you're just being an idiot.
I'm just being an idiot. Oh, fuck it. Well, we might as well keep it the actual intro, shall we? Because I can't be bothered to do it again.
Okay. I don't think anybody could be asked with this film either, so that's quite fitting.
What, Battlefield Earth?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
What's right with it?
We'll get into it.
God,
but nothing, spoilers, nothing's right with it. I thought it's becoming a bit of a theme on this podcast, but I felt like I should open with an apology. Once again to you, I've made you watch some real turkeys during the lifetime of this podcast. The Wicker Man remake, which we spoke about last season.
It wasn't the worst thing I've ever suffered through.
Especially now having watched Battlefield Earth.
Perspective is everything.
Yeah, Waterworld was another one, but again, compared to Battlefield Earth.
Masterpiece.
Exactly. Both have Kim Coates in, coincidentally.
Paper.
It's got paper. Have you ever seen paper?
Is Kim Coates a terrible actor or a terrible person, or does he need to fire his agent?
I don't know the answer to any of those questions. Because
okay.
he was a Son of Anarchy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he good in that?
Yeah, he was kind of a psycho, but he was pretty good in that.
Right. See, I know him from Waterworld.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty
now
much,
Battlefield Earth.
And now Battlefield Earth, where he plays the same character?
Yeah, ultimately.
Man that goes, oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, he's not Irish this time.
No. Is he Irish in real life?
No.
He's American?
I believe so.
Okay. This movie,
if you can call it that,
is based on book.
It is based on book, yeah. Based on half book.
Based on half book. About 40% of book, to be precise, I believe.
Yeah.
Big book. It's based on big book of 1,000 pages, written by the most prolific science fiction writer of all time in terms of quantity.
Is Garth Marenghi based on L. Ron Hubbard? Genuine question, because the amount of times last night that I jotted Garth Marenghi-isms down in my notes was insane.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought about Marenghi in L. Ron Hubbard most definitely has written more books than he's read.
I'm not sure anybody involved in this project can even read.
I think that's probably a fair comment. He wrote many books, one of which was called Battlefield Earth in 1982. Your year of birth.
Yeah.
Oh, in the world we got, in 1982, the world was presented with a baby Sarah and Battlefield Earth by one LRH. As we have to abbreviate everything in Scientology. I can't even fucking say Scientology. I don't give a shit. I don't give a crap, actually.
Oh, yeah. You've got to tone it down.
You've got to say crap in a 12A movie.
Yeah.
He wrote many books, including Battlefield Earth, a little book called Dianetics. Yeah. Which I haven't read. I can't really judge it because I haven't read it.
I can judge it. I've not read it either, but I will definitely be judging it.
And out of his 300 and something books that he's written...
300? Yeah.
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
How? What? Wait, what? 300?
Well, let's bear in mind that he invented a religion
Cult.
/ cult.
Definitely, it's not a religion.
It's a cult that
It's
doesn't pay any taxes.
It's a religion for tax purposes, yeah, but it's a
Yeah.
cult.
So let's bear in mind that he did that. So let's assume that he's also conned a lot of the books that he's written. Like, I know that he had some sort of writing partner back in the day. Is that someone else? He's got a team of people just writing him. He's going, oh yeah, put my name on that. That's mine.
Yeah.
It's probably that, isn't it?
I was going to say, like, I don't think it's possible to write 300 books in a lifetime. If that's all
I
you
haven't
did.
read 300 books. Genuinely.
Yeah, I must have.
You definitely have, yeah.
But I don't think it's physically possible, is it?
I don't know.
Some of them must have been ghostwritten, especially some of them are 1,000 pages long.
Some of them are written by Thetans.
Yeah.
You know, on paper, the most books ever written by a single human to this day.
Does he hold the record?
Yeah, genuinely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not possible. Who's second?
I don't know.
Even Stephen King doesn't pump them out that fast.
And he writes a lot of books.
And he's super prolific.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's nuts. He is Garth Marenghi.
He is.
Or was. He's dead, right?
Garth Marenghi.
LRH.
LRH. Oh, he's dead.
Long dead.
Yeah, he's long dead.
Good. Fuck that guy.
I think early 90s, I want to say. Maybe 80s.
Okay.
Who cares? All I know is that when he died, someone took over called David Miscavige.
He's a wanker as well.
He's a wanker as well. Yeah, he seems like he is, definitely.
Where's his wife?
I don't know. I knew you was going to ask this question. I don't know the answer to this.
I fell down that rabbit hole about 5-6 years ago.
Well, apparently Scientologists have spotted her in certain places, like in a sawmill or whatever.
Scientologists have spotted her?
Yes.
Oh, and they're trustworthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You're not saying that because they've got leverage on you.
Yeah.
The word leverage has lost all meaning to me after watching this movie.
They love saying the word leverage in this. Travolta loves saying the word leverage in Battlefield Earth. He loves saying the word leverage in Swordfish. He just loves leverage in general.
Yep.
And as you quite rightly pointed out, it's most probably because Scientology loves leverage in general.
They just want dirt on people.
Yeah.
That's the whole auditing process, isn't it? Just to accumulate dirt.
No, the point of that is so that you go clear.
Right,
and you can exercise your demons or whatever it is.
I know.
Thetans.
I've seen the documentary. But it's bollocks, isn't it?
What do you reckon?
Yeah, of course it's bollocks.
Of course it is.
They want dirt on people.
It's nonsense. Yeah.
They want bribery material.
Travolta lobbied to get this made for the longest time.
Why?
Because he's a Scientologist. Whatever questions you ask during this podcast, the answer is almost certainly always going to be because Scientology.
I don't accept that.
But apparently, when he was alive, LRH had sent a book to John Travolta with a signed copy of his book Battlefield Earth, and Travolta was trying to get it made since its release, pretty much. And originally, he was going to play main character called Johnny Goodboy, who's.
Sorry, I can't take that seriously.
Who eventually, of course, became Barry Pepper's role, and he sort of aged out of it, so he became the head Cyclo security guy. I can't say any of this with a straight face.
No,
you know?
No.
But
that's like if you asked a child, "What do you want to call the bad guys?" Cyclos.
Yeah.
Just because they can't say psycho properly.
Yeah.
Idiotic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to preface this by saying I am going to be overwhelmingly negative this episode.
Oh, just don't worry about it. Like, there are some films, especially in this season, that I will defend. Masters of the Universe was a good example of that. I don't think that film's terrible. Some people don't like it at all. But
Empire Records for me.
Exactly, Empire Records for you. When you line them up directly against Battlefield Earth, you really understand what a bad movie really is. Like, there's no comparison. They are worlds apart.
And I've seen some bad movies in my time.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because you told me that this is largely considered the worst film ever made, right? Because I was under the impression it was something like Plan 9 from Outer Space, or Manos, The Hands of Fate, or even The Room or Birdemic, which come up quite a bit on this podcast. And I don't know. For all their flaws, I think I would rather watch any one of those before watching Battlefield Earth again. And I can't quite get a handle on what is so unpleasant about it.
Oh, there's loads.
I mean,
Battlefield
all
Earth?
of it, yeah.
Yeah, take your pick.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the performances? Do we want to talk about how it looks, the grading, the camera angles, the close-ups, the characterizations, the special effects?
There was characterization.
Or lack thereof. Like, you could honestly pick any part of this film and just take a giant turd on it and you would be completely within your rights.
And you may improve it.
It's impossible not to improve this movie.
But before we do get onto all of that stuff, though, what made you choose this? Because you said yourself you're not going to defend it. So what about it made you choose it for flop season?
I haven't seen this I saw it, I think, roughly when it came out, circa 2000.
Oh, you were one of the 12 people that bought a ticket to this movie?
Yep.
Wow.
I didn't see it at the cinema, I don't think. I didn't like it. Didn't really think too much about it again. And then when I was doing my research for flops, this came up, and quite a few of the ones I've chosen in this season, they're all flops to varying degrees.
Oh, good. It's not like neo-Western season where you were just picking films around.
No.
Theme be damned.
They're all flops to a degree, but I think I like most of them.
Okay.
And I wanted one in there that was undeniably terrible that we could just have a bit of fun with. And also, fuck Scientology. Like, sometimes when there's a film as well that's not good, I can see that people worked hard on it, and I'm sure people have worked very hard on this film. So, like, no shade to the crew, unless you're a Scientologist.
Oh, some shade.
Some shade to the crew. But then, sometimes there's so little redeeming qualities that there's just nothing else you can do other than just talk about how bad it is. Like, there's literally no redeeming qualities in this movie, and I just thought it would be nice to balance it out with something that's objectively bad that I hate versus other things that are probably objectively bad that I love. I thought it was important to get a bit of balance in there, and I'd be curious to revisit this for a while, just because it's like, it can't be as bad as I remember.
I was just going to say, was it better or worse than your memory of it?
Worse.
Worse?
It was worse.
Okay.
I don't remember being as bored as I was when we were watching it last night, when I was, I don't know, I guess 16, 17 when I saw it. But then again, I was 16, 17 when I saw it. And my brain was much smaller, if you can imagine such a thing. That's why I chose it. I procured it. We now own a copy of Battlefield Earth because it wasn't streaming anywhere.
Cannot believe we have a copy in our house.
Not for long.
No. Do you think, where did you buy it? Was it on eBay?
Yeah.
Do you think the person you bought it off had been trying to sell it for the best part of 20 years?
There was an inch layer of dust when it arrived. I had to blow it like Indiana Jones blows dust off an old fucking slate. It was, I'm sure someone was like, fucking hell, so Terry, what? Someone's bought the copy of Battlefield Earth that we've had on eBay for 15 years. Since eBay first started, it was the very first thing ever listed, and it's been there. It must be some sort of record. What idiot is buying this? Oh, Dan's bought it. But only because we're covering it for a podcast. And honestly, like, if the heating ever goes off, if our gas gets cut off,
we need fuel.
We've got something to burn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I probably will burn it before that happens.
Yeah. For joy rather than for warmth.
Yeah. I might do that. I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as it was, I'll be honest with you. Had I remembered exactly how bad it was, I don't know if I necessarily would have chosen it, just because I would have been like, I don't want to watch it again.
No.
But having said that, I'm glad that it's done now, and it's now going to be something that I remember. This is a recorded conversation.
So in another 20 years, you'll be like, I wonder if Battlefield Earth is as bad as I remember it being. And I can remind you that there's a podcast. You go listen to that and go, no, I'm not buying another copy off eBay.
Yeah, I'll just go and revisit this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's another John Travolta movie that keeps coming up for some reason. It's our third Travolta movie now.
Yeah, I'm not okay with this.
It's bizarre. But this is his worst performance of all time. Right?
Is it though? Because I haven't seen that Fred Durst movie that he was in.
Neither have I. It's got to be, hasn't it?
He's been in some fucking turkeys.
I know. I haven't seen anything new with Travolta in like 15 years.
No, he went through that phase of like, obviously off the back of Nicolas Cage season, it's sort of the first comparison that comes to mind. But he went through that stage of kind of having a similar career where he would crop up in loads of straight to streaming crap. And like my old housemate and I used to play a game of like, oh, what's his facial hair combo going to be this time? Because it always looked drawn on. It was a period of about 10 years. Yeah, it looked like it'd been like sprayed on.
Like the hair atop his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, no shame to anybody who's losing hair at all.
No.
But when you kind of resort to using spray on hair, then, you know.
I think when you're a Scientologist, it's their fair game.
Yeah.
to
Easy
turn it
target.
Around on them. Yeah.
It's kind of low-hanging fruit though, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Travolta's a weird one, isn't he? Because he became famous, didn't he, with the dancing movie? What's that called?
Saturday Night Fever.
That's
and
right.
I remember that because I did a movie quiz this week that you weren't present for.
Oh, sorry.
Unlike the Curzon quizzes, we came 4th out of 10 teams, so I was humbled.
Yeah.
But there was a whole John Travolta round. I hate the man. I hate him.
Yeah.
And I realised I kind of started this because I was the first to choose a film that he was in.
Carrie.
Yeah.
But it was a small part. He's not in it that much.
No.
I continued it with Face Off, which he's in an awful lot, and I really like his performance in that. But again, he's trying to do a Nicolas Cage impression, and that's what's fun about it. It's not the Travolta-ness, it's the fact that he's trying to emulate Cage. He's had like quite a few ups and downs. He started with Saturday Night Fever, and then I think his career was on a decline for a while, and then he got Pulp Fiction, and it went back up again. And
don't forget Grease. Grease was huge.
Was a film that people liked, apparently. And the one with the talking baby that's played by Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah.
They were hugely successful, those first two at least.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kirstie Alley and John Travolta, starring 2 Scientologists.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that she was as well.
Yes. So I think around the mid-80s is when he was trying to get the adaptation of the book made of Battlefield Earth.
Okay.
And I think his career was on a little bit of a decline then, so he was having trouble getting it made. It wasn't until Tarantino, in his infinite wisdom, gave him the role in Pulp Fiction, which earned him, I think, an Oscar nomination. And that's when he got a second wind in his career, or third wind, I don't know.
He's had many wins.
He's had many wins. Yeah, one of them's called Battlefield Earth. So after that point, he's got a bit of clout now. I think he was commanding about 20 mil a film.
Okay.
It's like, right, let's use my newfound power
for
to get
this
Battlefield Earth made. Yeah.
Oh my God. I did read that he offered the directing role to Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. And do you know what he said? It's like Pulp Fiction in the year 3000. That's a direct quote from John Travolta.
Oh, he's just fully insane, isn't he?
100%. Do you want one more?
Sure, yeah.
It's like Star Wars, only better. Coming from someone who's not the biggest fan of Star Wars, it's way better.
It's not even as good as the prequels.
No, it's not. You're right.
No.
You're right. It's worse than the prequels. Actually, I forgot about this one, and this is my favourite one.
Oh my God.
Hold on to your butts.
Yep.
The Schindler's List of sci-fi.
What?
I don't know. Liam Neeson's not in it.
That feels hugely disrespectful.
But
also false.
The Scientologists love a Nazi reference, don't they? They love comparing, because they always bang on about being oppressed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
whoever is not in their camp is an SP, a suppressive person.
Yeah.
And it's just like being Jewish in the 30s and 40s. And genuinely, Ron Miscavige, that's his dad, David Miscavige, has done one interview, as far as I can tell, like with a journalist,
not somebody from the inside.
Yeah, not marketing videos, which
Yeah.
unfortunately I'm just getting popping up all over the time, all over the place now on my algorithm. It's depressing but fascinating. He's in that interview, he's saying exactly that, like they're an oppressed group of people and comparing themselves to people that were actually oppressed. It's bizarre. It's just a way to try and win favour, isn't it?
The worst thing that happens to Scientologists is people stand outside their headquarters and try to prevent people from walking in. Nobody's marching them to a goddamn gas chamber.
Yeah.
He needs a serious reality check.
That's the second worst thing that can happen to a Scientologist. The absolute worst thing would be if they had to pay tax.
Yeah. How wildly disrespectful.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh my God, it gets worse.
It was, yeah. And this project was shopped around to quite a few people.
And I'm sure they all quite rightly said nope.
You mentioned Tarantino already, who turned it down. Ron Howard turned it down. I can't imagine a Ron Howard version of Battlefield Earth. Right? Which role is Tom Hanks playing?
Oh no.
Martin Campbell, I think he did a couple of Bonds.
Okay,
maybe a
yeah.
GoldenEye, maybe he did Casino Royale as well.
Yeah, he was at the action festival that we went to.
Yeah, you're right.
He did a bit of a talk.
Good solid director. Not a hugely well-known name, I would say, but it probably should be. He's got a really impressive CV. And even more impressive because Battlefield Earth is not on it. But funnily enough, George Lucas, I don't know if he was offered the directing job or not. But
did they pitch it to him as it's like Star Wars but better?
I hope so. I hope so. And he was like, oh, yeah, I can see why. But it's not better though, is it? Because you haven't got Jar Jar Binks in it. George Lucas actually recommended his set decorator from the original Star Wars, Roger Christian. He later became an assistant director on, I think, the prequels. And maybe Jedi was the first time he was an AD. But
he should have recommended the fucking set cleaner. They might have done a better job.
Yeah, should have recommended the gas chamber.
Oof.
They're the ones that make that comparison.
For the book.
Yeah. But so Lucas recommended Roger Christian, who became the director of this movie.
Roger Christian,
ironically.
Oh.
Yeah, another religion. But I did hear from an interview, I forget who it was. It might have been Marty Rathbun or another ex-Scientologist, but they were basically saying that when Battlefield Earth was being made, David Miscavige was all over it. He was micromanaging the whole thing. He may as well have been director, like he oversaw everything.
Oh.
And then when the movie came out, he went, I don't know what, I had nothing to do with this.
He turned into that Homer backing into the bushes gif.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, okay.
That's the story I heard. I've only seen it from one source, and they're a Scientologist or ex-Scientologist, so, take it with a grain of salt. But also, I do think there's probably some truth to that, because...
Yeah, I could believe that.
Is he really going to let someone else be in control of the property of this? I suppose if it was a huge hit, could have done a lot for the cult, as in, or at least financially speaking. There weren't that many there weren't any Scientology references in it as far as I could tell, apart from one,
which was
it was a book that Barry Pepper is reading, Johnny Goodboy. That apparently is Dianetics. Or was it Battlefield Earth? Oh, I think it was Battlefield Earth.
He gave him a copy of Battlefield Earth in Battlefield Earth.
I think so, yeah.
What the hell?
He was reading it backwards. He can't even read it properly, mate. And
he is only a man animal.
He is a man animal, but he's had the genius training at that point. He should know how to read a fucking book.
That is true. So, speaking of, how much did it make? And how much did it cost? Do you know how much it made?
Well, the production company Franchise Pictures had said that it was 80 million. But then there was a legal proceedings afterwards where it came out that it was actually 40 million budget.
What?
I don't know what the reasons for that would be. I've given it very little thought, to be honest with you. But the very little thought that I did give it, I couldn't figure out why you would do that.
So
maybe...
So wait, who was saying it was 70 odd?
Well, franchise pictures are the ones that got sued.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it was them. Because they got sued and then they had to pay out like 120 million quid in damages.
Oh,
and
that backfired.
Yeah, bankrupted the company. They went kaput because of this movie. Not unlike Canon Pictures in Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Franchise pictures responsible for such, huge hits like The Whole Nine Yards and The Boondock Saints.
Okay.
Like classics. The Third Miracle, everyone remembers that movie. Five Aces, what a classic. Stormcatcher, one of my favourite movies. A Murder of Crows is my favourite movie about crows.
Is it? Mine's Opera.
Okay. Oh, they did the remake of Get Carter, which is meant to be good, isn't it?
I've got no idea.
It's meant to be terrible. Oh no!
What?
There's another movie on this season that they did.
Oh no! Mouth it. Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that actually doesn't shock me at all, given what you've just told me.
Good Lord. Well, that is my favourite franchise pictures movie, and we'll get to that in a few weeks' time. That's
Can't wait.
Fascinating. There's loads of movies after Battlefield Earth, but I'm guessing a lot of them were made before the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And how long did the lawsuit take? It must have taken a while, I guess.
So who sued them?
Some lawyers.
Okay.
Someone with a funny wig on, probably. I don't know.
Have you ever been in a courtroom?
No.
Oh, yeah, me either.
Cool, yeah. No, generally I've never been in a courtroom, but I've seen them on telly.
It's not quite as formal as it is on TV, in my experience.
No, I suppose not. There was that episode of the British Empire when he went to court and they were wearing funny wigs. That's my reference.
Is it your mission to shoehorn in an 80s or 90s British sitcom reference into every show lately? And
it's always got to have Chris Barry in it. So I've got one more reference to do.
Stay tuned for Red Dwarf next week.
Battlefield Earth, in 2010, it won a Razzie for the worst movie of the decade.
When did this come out? 2000?
2000. So right at the start, we started strong in 2000, didn't we? We had the Millennium Bug, which went crazy and sent everything wild.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did all that prep. We built all those bunkers and changed all the clocks and our cookers. Oh no, they're going to go mental. 2010. So yeah, straight away, right out the gate, 2000, the worst movie of decade, which it was gifted in 2010. The writer, J.D. Shapiro, turned up to the ceremony and accepted his award and apologised for the movie. And I think that's pretty consistent with almost everybody that's worked on this film. They deeply regret their involvement with it and they acknowledge freely that it's a piece of shit.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I did see that Forrest Whitaker had opened up and sort of said, yeah, terrible. Just the worst. And also, I think Barry Pepper won a Razzie for Worst Actor.
Right.
The year that it came out. And he said that if he'd known he was going to win, he would have turned up to the ceremony to accept in person.
That's fair.
So, although everybody hates their involvement, it seems like they're being pretty good sports about it, which I kind of respect.
You have to be, don't you?
I guess so.
You can't watch this movie and I will still say the one thing, you like what you like. If you watch this movie and you enjoy it, that is great. I'm very, very happy for you. But you also maybe should acknowledge that it is actually a piece of shit. Like, it's terrible. It's not good. But you can still enjoy something that's not good. I don't know what you would, because it's also very boring.
I think maybe if you enjoy Battlefield Earth, somebody in your life should involuntarily section you. I think there's an underlying problem there. Yeah. I would agree with you for most films.
I think you're being an SP.
I am an SP.
You are.
I'm a total suppressive person. I only know that because of Louis Theroux.
Am I being an SP? I don't know.
Your Werner Herzog was better than your Louis Theroux.
Wasn't it? Yeah. I just wish I was better at an impression of him. I wish he was in this movie. I wish there was a making of documentary with Louis Theroux walking around, talking to Travolta, Roger Christian, and the production designer, and just going, "Why?
I wish there was a Lost Souls type documentary about this movie.
Yeah, that would be fascinating.
The Richard Stanley Island of Dr. Moreau one.
They would never allow it.
No, exactly.
That's the problem, isn't it? Like, they're so protective over their material, their their precious LRH novels. That it's just you're never going to get that kind of access. And I mentioned that most people involved in this are deeply apologetic and acknowledge that it's not good. There are at least one exception to that. Can you guess?
Is it John Travolta?
Of course, it's JT himself.
I also heard that most of the budget went on his fee.
Well, considering he was on about 20 mil a pop, then I think I did read that he did sacrifice some of his salary. Say he did it for 10.
What? It didn't go into the film.
No.
It didn't go towards the effects budget or the script or the catering, from what I've heard.
It went into Miss Gavage's back pocket, didn't it?
Yeah.
Are we going to have to do a disclaimer up top in case we get sued by Scientology?
Can they sue us? What can they sue us for?
Can't get blood out of a stone, can you?
Yeah. What have I got?
Fuck them. Let's hope we never get successful then. Because I don't want to take this episode down.
You can't take jack shit.
Yeah. And also, we're listed as a comedy podcast. So it's all, is it parody law? Is that when you can do whatever you want?
If it's comedy, I don't know if it sort of gives you free rein to say whatever you want, but there are certain protections.
What if I said, fuck David Miscavige, I hope he dies soon?
Well, that's maybe a little bit mean, but
is it?
David Miscavige is a craphead.
Is it mean?
To paraphrase the movie.
Would lots of people not be much better off if he wasn't alive?
Maybe, yeah, but I don't wish death on anybody. It's not my call to make.
I wish death on some people. he is one of my top 5 people that I wish death upon. Everyone's going to die.
If he was walking down the road and he fell down a big pothole and passed away, I'd probably chuckle, but I wouldn't wish it on him.
Oh, you're very generous. Fuck him.
Well, yeah.
The abuse.
Yeah, fuck him.
The abuse. That
I know.
Disgusting quote unquote religion / quote has instilled upon people and just brainwashed people. People that probably for the most part want to do good things. Like, you don't necessarily join this sort of thing. It's very easy to say you're weak-minded, and I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of the time, God, this is turning into a Scientology podcast.
I was going to say, look, I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm not saying I want to go for a beer with the guy. I think he belongs in prison. I just don't wish death on anyone.
Okay.
Comedy podcast or not?
Yeah. I suppose I want to caveat slightly. You believe what you believe, and I'm not going to judge anyone for believing what they believe in.
As long as it's not harmful or too exclusionary. Like, I don't know.
Harm is the key word, I think. For me, as long as you're not doing anyone any harm, you do whatever you want. You believe whatever you want. And if you actually have a term called fair game, where you can do whatever you want to people within the legal laws, but you can harass people, make people's life a misery and threaten them. Like, that's not cool, man. You don't do that. And if you do that, I feel like you're fair game and I can take a big crap on you.
Yeah. And
so I wish he was dead.
Trying to accumulate dirt on people so you have material to bribe them with. Leverage is scumbag behavior.
Yeah.
Just end of.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's another reason why I chose it, because I am fascinated with cults and that sort of thing. And I did at some point want to try and have a discussion about Scientology. I didn't know if it was going to be in something like this, or, to be honest, I probably expected it if we ever did like a cults theme, something like that.
If we talk about the master, which definitely isn't about Scientology.
Hoffman is not playing LRH at all.
No.
Hoffman doesn't even know what a motorcycle is. He doesn't know what masturbating is.
No.
He's never seen a ship in his life. Even though he commanded that submarine. Oh
no, we don't talk about that.
No, he didn't do that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe we could have a discussion about Scientology. I don't know if we're going to go that much into it. This is an episode about Battlefield Earth, and I feel like I've been pretty mean about it already.
Yeah, you sort of can't divorce the film from Scientology, though. So I think the subject warrants exploration.
I think you're right, because if it was a film that just had Michael Pena in it, we'd probably mention Scientology, but it would be a quick, stupid joke, and then we'd probably move on. But the fact that this was written by a Scientologist, starred a Scientologist, was made because of a Scientologist, was directed by a Scientologist, if you believe what people say.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Roger Christian. No, as far as I can tell, he's not a Scientologist. But if you listen to the DVD commentary track, you would think that he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe they won him over.
Maybe they did.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's like if we covered a film that starred Kevin Sorbo, we'd have to talk about Christianity.
Or Hercules.
And Pure Flicks.
Oh, Kevin Sorbo. Oh, his son's a knobhead as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No. I get loads of shit that I don't want to see on TikTok because I hate watching
because you
things.
engage with it, Dan.
I don't engage with it. I just watch
Watching it is engaging with it to the algorithm. You know how this shit works. You're not naive.
I hate watch Michael McIntyre videos and Kevin Sorbo videos, apparently. I'm just like, what? Why do you hate people? Why do you care if someone wants to wear a dress or not? Who gives a fuck?
I couldn't give a merry shit what anybody else does with their own genitals in the privacy of their own home.
Just do what you want.
It doesn't affect me.
Just don't harm anyone.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway.
This film did me harm. Mentally. Yeah.
It did you harm. It did. You asked me about the box office about 10 minutes ago and I just went off on a fucking tangent. But 73 million apparently was the reported number at the time. Later was...
But 44, we're saying.
40 odd million was the actual budget after legal proceedings.
Yeah. 20 of which went to Travolta, we think.
Yeah. And the other 20 was on rats.
Yeah. And there was about a tenner left over for costuming.
Yeah.
Or so it looked.
Yeah, so they just bought 1,000 meters of brown tarpaulin and wrapped it around the actors.
And fake hair for the eyebrows. Don't forget the eyebrows.
Yeah. No, they had that horse. They shaved the horse and then super glued the horse hair onto the eye area and said that's eyebrows. But it made apparently 29 million worldwide.
Did it?
Which is surprising to me.
So there is, right, so this was going to be my next question. There are enough of us that have seen that movie to come together and do a class action lawsuit for psychological harm.
Do you reckon?
If it made 29 million, there's enough of us.
Yeah.
Because this film harmed me mentally.
I wonder if there's anything in that. We could do a petition, you know. I just did...
Maybe this is how we bring down Scientology.
I just used my calculator to figure out what 29 million divided by 10 was.
Did you?
I'm an accountant. And guess what it is? It's 3 million. So 3 million people roughly saw this at the cinema, I guess. I don't really know how those numbers work, but there's enough people there to lobby and get behind a movement to claim psychological damage. But then Scientologists don't recognize psychology. So what's their defense going to be?
Yeah,
but it doesn't exist.
The law does.
Yeah.
So fuck those guys.
Yeah, true.
Do a TikTok. Let's get the word out.
All right. Let's start a movement.
Yeah. Somebody will pipe in with a no-win, no-fee offer.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So it lost money. It obviously lost money, but not as much as you would think. Like,
I'm shocked.
Empire Records did way worse.
Yeah.
Police Academy 7 did way... Oh, interesting question.
Oh, no.
Would you rather watch Battlefield
Police
Earth
Academy 7.
Right. Okay. Really?
I don't even have to think about it.
Really?
Would I rather watch John Travolta forgetting which accent he's supposed to be doing, chewing the really shoddily put together scenery, or see two grown men spit an egg back and forth? I know what I would choose.
Commandant Lasard's only in one of those movies.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What are you going to do?
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's not exactly a Sophie's choice, is it?
No.
This is kind of more or less the part where we would comment on the acting and discuss the cast, but I feel like it's almost pointless here because everybody's uniformly terrible.
You've got Travolta, you've got Whittaker, you've got Pepper, you've got Coates, you've got Preston in a blinking
Kelly
you'll miss it
Preston's
scene.
barely in this movie.
I thought she was in it way more than she is. She's got that tongue.
I feel like I owe Barry Pepper a bit of an apology.
Do you?
He doesn't know I exist. But I feel like I've been under the impression that everybody involved in this movie was linked to Scientology in some way, shape, or form. And that going forward has affected my opinion of them. So I think I've spent my entire adult life just being like, fuck Barry Pepper. Not that I think about him
Really?
very often. But because of his connection to this film, I just assumed it was just like a big Scientology love-in.
No.
Yeah, well,
It's not.
you
It's
mentioned that when we put it on last night, and I was shocked.
It's the thing is that they would have you believe there's loads of members all over the world, but there's not. Apparently, there are about 25,000.
Yeah,
So
that's still too
what I
many.
heard, which is not, but it's not many.
No.
There's more people that own this movie than there are Scientologists, and that obviously extends to the crew as well. The vast majority of them would not have been Scientologists, and also to kind of defend them somewhat. Back in 1999, when this was being shopped around, I didn't know what Scientology was. I'm sure that most of the people that worked on it probably did, just because it was the Hollywood thing, and that's what they wanted, is to infiltrate celebrities and the celebrity center.
I only know what Scientology is because of this movie.
Oh, really?
When this was released, that was the first time I ever heard about Scientology.
You see, when I saw this, I don't think I even knew what it was then.
Right.
It wasn't until a few years later, maybe mid-2000s, possibly 2008-ish,
Yeah.
is when I started to become familiar with it. So I didn't know what it was back then. Even if you did know what it was, you may not have been aware of all of the details and how some people have been deeply harmed by it psychologically. There are a lot of victims of it. You might not be aware of that. They really care about public relations and trying to manage their image. And with the emergence of the internet, you just can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I feel like back then,
and obviously Leah Remini never fucking shuts up about it. So
no.
They cannot silence that woman.
Oh, she's fighting a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, to defend anyone that worked on this movie, I would say it's possible that they weren't fully aware of all of the details.
Yeah.
And also, you're an actor. You want to work.
Yeah,
There's that.
that's valid.
So
he was like coming off the back of was it Saving Private Ryan he was in, or Band of Brothers? He was in one of the big war things.
I think probably Band of Brothers, because I've not seen that.
Right.
I have seen Saving Private Ryan, and I don't remember him in it.
Okay. So yeah, there isn't really anybody that you can kind of single out for a particularly terrible performance, because they're all on the same level of bad, I think.
Yeah, I think you can single out John Travolta for the single worst performance of all time.
Worse than Tommy Wiseau in The Room?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because John Travolta should have known better?
Because he's a giant crap head.
He's literally a giant crap head.
I feel like...
Just when you think his head can't get any bigger.
Yeah, they actually had to shrink his head for this movie. I think Tommy Wiseau is an interesting comparison because he has naivety on his side.
Does he, though?
Well, when he was making a room, didn't he buy a load of cameras and rent the camera? Whatever.
He bought them. He bought them instead of renting them.
He didn't know what he was doing.
And he filmed digital and on film.
That's what I'm thinking of. My point is that he didn't have a clue what he was doing. He just wanted to make a thing.
Yeah.
And there's a purity to that.
I guess so.
Maybe he was a giant shithead. I don't really know much about the guy. But Travolta should really know better.
Yeah.
And not that I'm surprised, because he's always overacting in most of the things that he's in. But he made some very bold choices in this. And it's ridiculous. Why did he... There's stuff in it, like when he bumps his head, that really made me laugh. And I don't know if it was it meant to be funny? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. And I look at the costumes he's wearing, and I think he must have had a big hand in that. Just bad decisions all round. And I think that he was in the industry for long enough, and he should know better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's really difficult to pinpoint where the budget went in this movie, because visually it's so bad. And I think I sort of mentally checked out about half an hour into this film. But for the first half an hour, because this was a first watch for me, I was so, like, you saw me, I was sat there with my hand over my mouth, like shocked at how bad it was, at how bad it looked. I couldn't understand what was going on. Like, I'm not 100% sure on the plot, I'll be honest.
Plot is...
I'm not asking you to explain it. I never want to think about this movie again after this podcast. But I don't know. Like, I was genuinely taken aback at just how bad it looked.
It's not a pretty movie.
No, not at all.
From the very opening where you're going across the mountains, it's the first image you see is it's a boring image.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, like you said, it looks like stock footage.
It looks like stock footage. It looks like a really cheap ITV documentary from the 90s.
Everything about this film looks super dated, by the way.
I guess it kind of is a 90s production, but it's from the very first frame, it's just very uninteresting.
Yeah.
And then they try to make it interesting. Like, choices were made. After we watched this film last night, you went to bed, and I watched it again with the commentary track.
I could not believe that you did that willingly.
I like to do that. And, I bought the DVD. I'm going to get my fucking money's worth.
How much did you spend on it, by the way?
I think it was £2.
Okay. That's not the worst.
It's too much.
Of course. Any money is too much money for that film.
But the commentary was by director Roger Christian and production designer, I think it's called Patrick Totopoulos. And I thought there might be something interesting there. Like, why did they make certain decisions? Where did the money go? I don't know how long after the movie came out that they recorded the track. I suspect it wasn't long after it came out.
Yeah.
Because it was on DVD.
Did they mention Scientology at all?
Yes.
Okay.
But only in the... Well... Not really. They mentioned LRH.
Right.
And they mentioned the books, and they mentioned what's in the book quite a lot, and how they wanted to be faithful to it, and how it kind of gets a bad rap, and they wanted to be kind to it. So they weren't like... It didn't seem like they were defensive of that, but... They were the most annoying thing about it was that there was no acknowledgement at all about how even they could have just made better decisions. It was just, we were trying to make a comic strip. He said that about 87 times.
Okay. Which
got very boring. And they did the best with the budget that they could. And the thing that really annoyed me is that at one point the director said, well, I feel like, and this is what makes me think that it must have been recorded after it came out. He said things like, once you've seen it twice, once you've seen it 3 times, the ideas will really start to seep in. It's all there. It's layered. Like, there's reasons for all the decisions we made and this thing and that thing. And he was just really trying to defend it rather than, even if you made it and you're proud of it, like, I'm not taking anything away from you. It's hard to make a movie. Good for you. You did it. But you must be able to... Can you not see? Like,
I mean...
I suppose, like, you mentioned Tommy Wiseau earlier. Like, he made that movie, serious production when he made it. But now he's like, yeah, I always intended to make a comedy. Which is not the case.
I guess
But here,
so.
the director seems to just be saying, no, you just don't get it. And that fucks me off.
I feel like that is a bit of a running theme with some of the directors of the films that are considered the worst of all time, though. The obvious comparison is Troll 2.
Okay.
And it's considered one of the worst films ever made. I think it's really funny. But
have I seen it?
I don't know, but we did watch a documentary about it. I've got a documentary called Best Worst Movie.
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because there is a bit of a cult following around it. And the director was featured in the documentary and got genuinely quite upset at the reaction to the film.
Yeah.
And how much people were laughing. And he sort of did defend it. So I do get the impression that that's, I don't know, maybe they're just too close to the material. Maybe it's like they're not exactly auteurs. They're not like a Paul Thomas Anderson or like a Wes Anderson even.
Yeah.
All the Andersons. But it's not like you can just sort of go, I want to make this movie, I'm going to make this movie, and then somebody finances it in a heartbeat. They're jobbing directors.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit different because they want to work again.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like, There's a way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, you don't have to you don't have to ride so hard for it.
No. Like, I admire people that when they make mistakes, they say, I made a mistake and I own up to it and I've learned from this mistake. And I think the same is true for something like this.
But maybe if you make a movie that loses however many million and you kind of go, yeah, we made a shit film, maybe your worry is that you won't work again.
Maybe Miscavige has got leverage on Roger Christian.
Yeah, it was written into his contract that he had to be audited before the film took place.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, like, it's super hard to make a film. It's so difficult to get everything together and get everything done. So to put all of your effort into it, your blood, sweat and tears into something, and then it turns out to be a piece of shit. I'm not surprised that sometimes people are in denial about it.
Yeah.
Because they worked fucking hard to get it done. And they're not taking anything away from anyone that works hard to do a thing. That's impressive in and of itself.
Do you think the commentary was less trying to convince the audience it was good and more trying to convince himself that it was good? Like, it was just 2 hours of positive affirmations for Roger Christian.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't waste 2 years of my life. That was,
yeah.
I worked on the prequels and then I made this and it was worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's how he sleeps at night.
The commentary was actually quite disappointing. I was hoping it was going to be more interesting than it was. I was hoping there was going to be some explanations. But no, it was really just an hour and 45 minutes of him saying, you just don't get it. And we've done Dutch angles because comic strip.
Right.
That was basically it.
Okay, yeah. No De Palma.
Yeah. It was better than the movie. Don't get me wrong.
It was more interesting,
it was
probably.
more interesting than the movie, yeah. But
oh wow. How disappointing. Is this the most slow-mo ever in a film?
Who else likes slow-mo? Is it Zack Snyder? Is he a slow-mo guy?
The last film I remember watching that was like chock full of slow-mo was Wonder Woman.
Right.
It was, and going back to the Garth Marenghi
on.
Comparison,
yeah.
it did feel a little bit like everything without dialogue was considered for slow motion in this movie. And honestly, 2 hours, I'm guessing like 2 hours was kind of a long runtime for a movie in 2000. Was it? But I think they were going for some sort of sci-fi epic.
Oh, they definitely were going for a sci-fi epic. They wanted to make a part 2.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you sped up all of the slow-mo parts, this would be 70 minutes long. Yeah. If that. The temptation was to watch it at 2 times speed.
Which we could have done and been no worse off.
Yeah.
We'd been better off because we'd have had another half an hour of our lives.
Yeah.
There was so much slow motion, wasn't there? Like, it was egregious. It was aggressive, just how much of it there was. And people just doing the most innocuous shit. Just like, I'm just going to walk down the road and they're just doing some slow motion. And then Barry Pepper's falling through 4 panes of glass or one pane of glass 4 times.
Yeah, I'm still unclear on that.
I couldn't figure that out.
There's so much about this film that doesn't make sense. And that's just reminded me one of the main points.
About the glass.
This film takes place in the year 3000. We know that because the obnoxious green text at the beginning told us. How have all of these buildings and the stuff within the buildings weathered that 1,000 years on Earth? How have they survived?
They would just be bits of dust on the floor, right?
There wouldn't be a pane of glass left to break.
No.
After 50 years.
No.
What the hell?
No, you try abandoning a town like Jaywick for 6 months. There won't be a pane of glass left then.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not surviving 1,000 years with all of your glass intact.
No.
And Pepper doesn't even know what glass is.
Apparently.
Johnny Goodboy doesn't know what glass is. He's like, oh fuck, what a shit in the bed. What's that?
No, crap. You're only allowed to say crap
yeah.
in this universe.
That's glass. And then he falls for it loads of times. And then why is glass such a thing in this movie?
A lot of glass breaks. Yeah.
The dome, when that glass breaks. Is there some kind of metaphor here that I'm not picking up on?
I have no idea. They literally demolished the glass ceiling.
They have glass ceiling.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's clever, really, when you think about it, probably, isn't it?
So says Roger Christian.
Yeah, it's just layers. It's all there.
Yeah, we just don't get it.
Direct quote. It's
Yeah.
all there.
I just don't understand
You just
it.
need to watch it twice more, Sarah, and you'll get it.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. You would have to, that's something I was thinking about, actually. You would have to pin me down Clockwork Orange style.
Yeah.
Like, in sort of war-torn countries, when they use music as a weapon, effectively, you could use this movie as psychological warfare. Like, if you lock a war criminal in a room and just put this on a projector endlessly, they would be spilling their secrets in no time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to pull their fingernails out. Nothing.
No.
Just make them watch this.
Yeah. I thought about Clockwork Orange, actually, while we were watching this movie.
Did you?
When they put him in a chair and they gave him the genius machine.
Oh, yeah, the thing that made him learn everything.
Yeah. We haven't really spoken about the plot, have we?
No. Oh, God. I guess we have to.
Barry Pepper. Hang on. What is the plot?
Exactly.
Barry Pepper is looking for his dad?
I don't
Or his
know.
mum?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Why does he leave the tribe at the start?
I don't know, but there seems to be some dissemination. Like, his missus doesn't want him to go.
Right.
It seems like he's already been off somewhere and he's come back with medicine and isn't he told that his dad's dead? He's too late with the medicine or something?
Someone's dead.
I think I was paying attention during the first half an hour.
And then he lobs the medicine that he just spent ages foraging.
Which you could have probably saved for somebody else, A stupid move.
Medicine's scarce in this world.
Yeah.
You're not just going to lob it off the cliff, are you? Unless you're Johnny Goodboy.
But he's just a dumb man animal.
He's a dumb man animal. But so he promptly fucks off and then gets scared by a miniature golf course and then meets Kim Coates and other man, falls through the glass in that quote unquote nightmare sequence.
Oh, is that what Roger Christian called it?
Yeah, it's very clever.
Is that why the sound was all fucked up?
That's why the sound was terrible, yeah.
Right, yeah, that's why.
Yeah. And then he gets captured. And so I guess the plot is greed, right? The plot is aliens want gold.
Yeah, because at the end, John Travolta's literally imprisoned, surrounded by gold.
Yeah.
And it can do him no good. So there's obviously some sort of messaging there.
He's a prisoner of his own greed.
Yeah.
It's very clever when you think about it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what the second half of this book looks like.
I don't.
Not that I'm ever going to watch it.
I don't wonder.
But then, so you've got that stuff. The aliens, they want gold for some reason. Did
they ever explain that?
No, I mean, I guess that you just are meant to assume that it's a rare commodity throughout the universe and has some inherent value.
I think they say it's the most valuable.
Is it?
The most valuable metal left on Earth.
Right.
I'm pretty sure maybe the text said that at the start.
They love it. They love gold.
They can't get enough of gold.
They love it. And
they just want to Scrooge McDuck through all of those gold bars.
They want to mine they've been here for 1,000 years and they haven't mined all of the gold. I feel like humans would have done that in 100.
Do you know why? Because they're fucking flying everywhere in ships instead of teleporting.
It's a great point.
They can teleport wherever they want. They can teleport themselves. They can teleport inorganic matter.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they have ships?
Why do they do anything?
Oh my God.
Why do they get dressed? They could just teleport their clothes on them.
Yeah.
Why are they eating? Why are they drinking? You just teleport things straight into your gullet.
All of their teeth are rotten. They're the most advanced race on the planet, but they don't know about toothpaste.
Why are you just teleporting toothpaste on your teeth?
Into your mouth, yeah. I hate this movie so much.
Why are you cutting people's heads off? You just teleport their head off.
Yeah.
Why are you walking anywhere? You just teleport it. Why are you mining anything? Just teleport the gold out of the ground and onto your home planet. It would take you minutes.
Yeah.
But they spent 1,000 years trying to mine gold. And they don't know about Fort Knox.
If only David Bowie had this technology to get water back to his home planet.
Yeah. He would have just teleported it back home and been back on that fucking spaceship hash brown in no time.
Yeah.
One of the things that really fucks me off, and the more I think about it, is that these aliens, they've created interstellar travel, they've created teleportation, they've obviously nicked a load of technology off of various civilizations, is implied.
Yeah.
But they're really fucking stupid.
They're dumb as fuck, but they think they're really smart, and they think humans are all dumb as fuck. But where do they think all the infrastructure on Earth came from?
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm thinking. They describe humans as man animals, and I'm not saying that we're the brightest fucking.
We're able
creatures.
to produce glass that lasts 1,000 years plus. It's like, come on.
Giant golf balls that can survive God knows what for 1,000 years.
Shares in Autoglass are going to skyrocket after this podcast comes out.
Yeah, but that's like for a civilization that's meant to have conquered the universe.
They suck at it.
They're really dumb.
Yeah.
Is it like that they've gotten so successful at what they do that they're now kind of complacent and they've gotten more stupid? Because I could but can you give me some of that information? Like, I'm reaching here. Could you maybe give me some of that information? Don't just say, they've got teleportation, but they're dumb as fucking shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Well,
any
it's just
sense.
bad filmmaking. They didn't show or tell.
Yeah, you went to assume.
Yeah. You have to fill in a lot of gaps here.
Yeah, so their plan. So John Travolta's plan. What's his name in S? Turd or something? I can't remember. Something like that. His plan is to get gold,
Lots of it,
and then sell the gold.
I haven't got a clue.
What? Because for a civilization that is all about surveillance, keeping an eye on everyone, and the bureaucracy, and
it's very nanny state, isn't it?
It's very
yeah.
nanny state. It's almost like someone was maybe trying to criticize the IRS or some kind of institution like that. I can't imagine that's probably a coincidence.
Yeah.
So he was trying to gather gold to sell it to someone secretly, and then going to live somewhere else.
I don't know.
He wanted to be rich.
He wanted to be rich, and he wanted to get one over on Forrest Whitaker, but Forrest Whitaker wanted to get one over on him.
Yeah.
I really don't know what's going on. And they were both wearing massive shoes. And there was a guy that looked like Baron Harkonnen if he'd been sat next to a radiator and melted a bit. Oh, I hate this movie.
That guy or Gwildor?
Gwildor.
Yeah, thank you.
Gwildor is innocent.
Yeah.
This movie's recontextualized everything for me. Yeah, no, this is a really, really ugly film.
It is ugly. The costumes are ludicrous.
It looks like the shittest episode of Babylon 5 ever.
Yeah, definitely. There's just the height that they've got on their shoes, and just the costumes in general don't look good. It's not shot well, so that's probably got something to do with it.
And it felt like they were going for sort of like a look without thinking of the practicalities of everything.
Yeah.
Like, why have they got horrible fingernails, and why have they developed hairy hands, and what's the reason for any of this?
Because that's what LRH wrote, I guess.
What a moron. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to insult me.
I hate that man,
Newsflash.
and I hate this film, and I hate the book, even though I've never read it and never will.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite... I went into this podcast being like, yeah, it'd be fun to shit on this film. I'm actually getting angry that I wasted 2 hours of my life.
Well, we've recorded as well, so it's more like going to be 3 or 4 hours that you've wasted on your life.
Yeah. On this sub PS1 graphics looking VFX laden piece of shit.
I would love to be able to recognize some redeeming qualities, and there just aren't any. There genuinely aren't any redeeming qualities, are there? Like,
no.
The
script is potentially one of the worst ever committed to film, and doesn't make any sense.
No.
And a lot of what they're saying doesn't even match what's happening on screen. Brings to mind that scene of they're heavily armed and moving fast. No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're literally not. It looks like slow motion again.
It was slow motion. They were walking slow, and it was in slow motion.
I feel so sorry for the guy that edited this movie, but also
just the best they could do.
Guilty by association. I can't get past that. I'm sorry.
I'm going back to the stupidity of it again, though, because the turd, the head security guy played by John
He's definitely
Travolta,
called Turd.
He's not a bright guy, even though we're led to believe that he finished top of his class in something, shooting cows or whatever. I don't know.
I'm guessing, yeah, he's an expert marksman.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we're just supposed to assume that they're really, really smart because their heads are massive.
Right, big brains equals
Yeah.
big thoughts.
I don't fucking...
But so his plan was to take... I want to mine gold, but I can't do it myself because I'll get found out and they'll vaporize me. Someone might have leverage. So he's like, we're going to teach the man animals how to mine, and we're going to make them geniuses. We're going to make one of them a genius, and we're going to teach him how to fly and give him all the secrets that we have. And that's not going to come back to bite you? Like what's...
Well, the machine didn't tell them that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The smart machine
Didn't tell...
that puts information in you.
Yeah.
Input.
Yeah.
I hate this. I hate this so much. The plot, I feel like you're trying to make sense of it. And I don't think we ever will.
I've just thought of something though. Like, you know...
Was it one of the 17,000 screen wipes?
Oh no, we haven't even spoken about the screen wipes.
If I never see another
Lord.
transition fade ever again.
You think Star Wars is aggressive with screen wipes? You ain't seen nothing. Oh, it was unbearable. Every single transition was a wipe.
Yeah.
It's unbearable.
Sometimes it's left to right. Sometimes it's middle out.
Yeah.
Ooh, keeping you on your toes.
Yeah. Oh, what else can we... I was going to say something else, but I can't be bothered.
That's kind of where I'm at. Isn't that sad? That's exactly where I am.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck this movie.
I was hoping it was going to be a more fun experience to watch, you know. Sometimes we watch a bad movie and it's like you get into it and you tear it a new one. But genuinely watching this...
We did to begin with, but then we lost interest quite quickly.
How many times can you go, oh, another screen wipe?
Yeah.
It's just like, no, it's the same bad that it's been throughout the whole movie with zero redeeming qualities. Looks terrible. The effects are bad.
I thought of one redeeming quality.
Go on.
The score was not the worst that I've ever heard.
I thought you was going to say the credits. When the credits rolled.
Yeah, it ended.
Yeah.
No, it's super derivative, but it was not the worst.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a fair comment. Yeah,
that's the only thing I could think of.
We found it.
I tried.
Successful.
I really tried.
Yeah, it's not a good movie. You can see, can't you? There's sometimes you watch a film and it's not good, but you're like, oh, it's not as bad as they say. But this genuinely is like bottom of the barrel for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. There are some really terrible movies that, as you said in the Wicker Man show, that, you know, if you have friends around and it's a boozy evening, you might be like, oh, let's stick this on. Never in a million years would I suggest putting this on.
No.
Never in a million chromons.
No. Not even if you had leverage over him.
No. Somebody would have to have leverage on me to make me sit through this again.
If I had leverage on you, I'd make you watch this again.
Would you?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be in the room.
That's so mean.
But I don't have leverage on you.
No, I'm a pretty open book.
So make sure that you don't let me have leverage on you.
And that book is not Battlefield Earth. I can't believe they thought there might be a sequel.
Of course they did.
Hubris.
Of course they did. Travolta still defends this movie. And I don't know, still, it's been 25 years now since it was released. But I know for the longest time after it came out, was still like, yeah, we go. Hopefully, we'll make a movie. And I saw in one interview they went, oh, is that confirmed then? And he went, yeah, yeah. Like he went high pitched like that. It was very funny.
People never do that when they're lying.
No.
Wow. Okay.
It's obviously never happening. For someone, okay. LRH, written the most books of all time of all authors ever on the planet that have ever existed. He's written the most books. Statistically, out of all of those books, you would think that more than one would have gotten made into a movie, right? Are there any others that you know of? Apart from
I know of, no.
Dynetics marketing videos?
No, I don't know of any.
No.
Funny that.
Yeah.
So, in summation... Bad.
POS.
Hot take.
Giant.
This movie is bad.
It's a giant POS.
Its reputation is very much deserved.
Mm.
And I hope I never have to watch it again. I hope you, the listener, didn't watch this in preparation for the show.
If you bought it like I did, I might send you £2.
Are you going to... There's going to be some sort of compensation
maybe.
scheme?
Yeah. I'm not just going to send people. You have to prove it.
Yeah,
you know.
we need receipts.
Yeah. If you wanted to watch it because of this podcast and you bought it in preparation, I'll reimburse you the £2. Sorry.
Maybe it's gone up in price now though, because you bought the only one that was £2 on eBay.
Maybe supply and demand.
Yeah.
So if I burn this copy, I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'll burn my copy of it, and then your copy of it will go up in value as well. Right?
That's a good point.
And that can be the reimbursement and compensation scheme.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Don't tell the tax man. You can keep it quiet.
I don't know. I think value is more demand driven than rarity necessarily. If nobody wants it, then it's not going to go up in price.
Doesn't matter if there's only one copy of it.
If you can't give it away.
Even Tom Cruise hated this movie. Genuinely.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all week.
Like I mentioned earlier about Miscavige distancing himself after the movie came out and everyone took a giant turd on it. Apparently, Cruise went up to him and was like, "What's going on with JT?" And Miscavige was like, "I don't know. I don't know why they." I'm like, "Oh, we've got to have a word with him." Oh, that John Travolta, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So even TC wasn't a fan of BE, and then DM distanced himself from JT.
This is getting confusing now. I would like to end on justice for Mrs. Miscavige. Let's get her found.
Yep. And Masterson, I hope you rot in hell.
Yes, very much so. On that note.
On that bright note, yeah, I thought this was going to be more fun, but I'm very sorry that it was a piece of shit with no redeeming qualities. But it's done now.
It is.
And we can move on.
What are we doing next week? I've forgotten. It's my pick and I can't remember.
Is it?
Huh? I can't lip read, it turns out.
All right, I'll have to look out there, won't I? Bear with me. Dan's going to have to edit this bit down.
I'm so sorry.
Can you fill so I don't have to edit this bit?
Can I fill?
Can you sing a song or something?
Oh, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear me singing. Trust me. Tone deaf. I'm not very good at filibustering.
You're doing all right so far. Just say I'm not very good at filibustering.
You could just edit all of this out.
No, but then that's more work for me, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But this is more work for me. So what are we doing?
Well, I believe it's one of your favourite movies. So I'm very surprised.
That doesn't narrow it down. There's 2 more of my favourite movies to go.
True.
Give me a clue.
And what are they? It's
the other one.
It's not. I'm doing. What's this game called when you act something out? Shapiro. Charades. Shapiro. Why the fuck says Shapiro? Weird.
Ben.
No, JD, the writer of Battlefield Earth. Oh God, how could I? Oh.
How many copies of it do I own?
A few.
Nightbreed?
Yes. Thank God. Oh.
Is it a film or a book or a TV show? It's 2 of those. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't believe I've never covered this. This is much like The Thing.
Yeah, that's
How have
mad.
I never covered this yet?
That's mad.
Let's get some Clive Barker freakiness going on.
Yeah.